In the last class, we defined what is chemical kinetics. Okay, and also we discussed about the importance of chemical kinetics. Why do we need chemical kinetics? Because of the limitation of thermodynamics. Thermodynamics can only tell us whether a particular reaction is spontaneous or not. Okay, but it cannot tell us if a particular reaction is spontaneous, how fast the reaction will proceed. So to know whether a given particular reaction is speed or very slow, it is very important to measure what is called as the rate of the reaction. So we also defined what is the rate of the reaction, and also we understood why different reactions have different rates, because different reactions in different reactions the nature of the chemical bond that is broken or formed will be different, so the total energy involved will also be different. So different reactions therefore proceed with different rates. And also in the last class, by taking a very simple reaction, okay, why do I mean it's simple reaction? Because the stoichiometric coefficients of reactants or products in this particular reaction is 1. So for such reaction, rate of the reaction dx by dt is equal to minus dA by dt or minus dB by dt or plus dC by dt or plus d of d by dt, where x represents any one of the reactant or products. Why we have negative sign here for reactants? Okay, it constantly reminds us that rate of the reactants decreases with respect to time, whereas the concentration of the product increases with respect to time, so they are associated with positive signs. And we also discussed about the unit of rate. It is concentration per time, which is generally expressed as mole per dm cube per second or mole per dm cube per minute. Okay, so this is what we have studied in the previous class. In today's class, we will take some complex reactions, okay, and we will try to define or understand what is the rate of such reactions. Okay, say for example, we have taken a reaction 2A plus B giving 3C plus D. Okay, as seen here, two molecules of A reacts with one molecule of B to produce three molecules of C and just one molecule of D. Say for example, I have taken at a particular time, okay, t is equal to 0. I have taken 1000 molecules of A and 500 molecules of B. So concentration of the product at t is equal to 0 is 0, because the reaction is yet to start. After say for example 5 minutes, okay, so in 5 minutes reaction has taken place to some extent. Suppose 200 molecules of A has reacted. Now according to the stoichiometric equation, you can see that for every one molecule of B reacting, two molecules of A should react. Or to be placed it in a different way, for every one molecule of B disappearing from the reaction mixture, two molecules of A should disappear, and at the same time three molecules of C will be produced and one molecule of D will be produced. So if 200 molecules of A has disappeared from the reaction mixture, it means 100 molecules of B should have disappeared and 300 molecules of C should be formed, whereas only 100 molecules of D are formed after 5th minute. So if you carefully see here, the rate of disappearance of reactant A is twice the rate of disappearance of reactant B. On the other hand, the rate of formation of product C is 3 times the rate of formation of product D. Okay, they are different. Similarly, the rate of disappearance of A is not same as rate of formation of C, or rate of disappearance of B is not same as the rate of formation of C. So rate of individual reactants reacting or forming, they are different. In such case, How will you define the rate of this reaction? Okay, how will you define the rate of this reaction? For that, let us first understand the relation dA by dt. What is dA by dt? It is the rate of disappearance of A with respect to time. How it is related to dB by dt? The rate of disappearance of B with respect to time. As I already told you, dA by dt is 2 times dB by dt. The rate of disappearance of A is 2 times the rate of disappearance of B. This is a bigger number. How many times it is bigger? It is 2 times bigger. Similarly, on the product side, you can write rate of formation of C, okay, is 3 times the rate of formation of D. Okay, so in such case you see that the rate of disappearance of reactants are different from each other. Similarly, rate of formation of products are different from each other. In such cases, using which species we have to define the rate of the reaction? Remember, in such cases, because we know what is the relation between them, we can define the rate of the reaction in a very simple manner. Okay, for that what I will do is I will rewrite this equation. What is dB by dt from this equation? It is half of dA by dt. Similarly, you can write d by dt is 1/3 of dC by dt. Okay, now let us define what is the rate of the reaction. Rate of this particular reaction is defined as follows: dx by dt is equal to, here x may be reactant A or B or product C or D. So rate of this reaction dx by dt can be written as minus half of dA by dt. Minus half of dA by dt. Why here I am written minus? Because if I am measuring the rate of the reaction with respect to reactant, minus sign is compulsory because rate of the reaction decreases with respect to time. Or you can also express this as minus, what is half into dA by dt? It is nothing but dB by dt. So minus dB by dt. Or I can also write in terms of the product, it is 1/3 of dC by dt, which is nothing but equal to dd by dt. So this relation we know already holds good. Similarly, this relation also holds good. But nowhere here we have mentioned this about this equality. But if you carefully look at these numbers which I have taken as an example, just see what is half of dA by dt. So 200 molecules has disappeared, half of that will be 100. What is dB by dt? 100 molecules has disappeared. 1/3 of dC by dt, 300 molecules has been formed, 1/3 of it is again 100. dd by dt is already 100. So this is also 100 molecules disappearing, 100 molecule disappearing, 100 molecule formed, 100 molecule formed, all are same, one and the same numbers. So there is now a uniformity in definition of rate of the reaction. So for this particular reaction, rate of the reaction is half of the rate of disappearance of A with respect to time, or it is the rate of disappearance of B with respect to time, or it is 1/3 of the disappearance of formation of C with respect to time, or it is the rate of formation of D with respect to time. In general, if I take a stoichiometric equation, A molecules of A plus B molecules of B plus C molecules of C, giving X molecules of X plus Y molecule of Y plus Z molecule of Z. In such case, how will you write the rate of a reaction? Rate of a reaction can be expressed now in terms of one of the reactant or in one terms of product. How will you equate them? We will use the same procedure that we have used here. If you carefully read here, If the rate is expressed in terms of A, we have divided it by 2, which is nothing but this stoichiometric number. Okay, here we have divided it by 1, which is nothing here, so it is nothing but the stoichiometric ratio 1. Here we have divided this rate of formation of C by 3, which is nothing but the stoichiometric ratio associated with stoichiometric coefficient associated with 3. Here we have divided by 1, which is no effect, which is nothing but the stoichiometric coefficient. So you can express the rate by dividing each rates of disappearance of reactants or formation of products by the corresponding stoichiometric coefficient. So rate of the reaction can be written as minus 1 by A into rate of disappearance of A, or minus 1 by B into rate of disappearance of B, so on. You can express in terms of product 1 by X dx by dt, or 1 by Y dy by dt. So we have, and so on, we have divided the rate of disappearance of a reactant or rate of formation of a product by the corresponding stoichiometric number that appears in the stoichiometric equation. So each of these are numerically equal to each other. So this is how we define the rate of a complex reaction. Now we will study what are the different factors that affect the rate of a reaction. So what are the different factors affecting the rate of the reaction? The first factor that affects the rate of the reaction is nature of the reactants and nature of the reaction itself. Okay, we have studied different reactions in organic chemistry, like substitution reactions, addition reactions, oxidation reactions, reduction reactions, and in all this reaction are involving different types of cleavages of bonds or formation of bonds. So the nature of bond broken or formed are different in different reactions. For example, if I compare a oxidation reaction or a substitution reaction with a addition reaction, so the nature of the bonds broken will be different. So we can expect that since the nature of the reactions are different, rate of the reaction will also be different. If I take, for example, reactions of similar type, okay, say for I have two reactions 1 and 2, and both are substitution reactions, nucleophilic substitution reactions, still the rate of these two reactions will be different. Why? Because the nature of the reactant molecules involved will be different. If the molecule contains an electron withdrawing group or an electron donating group, you would know that the rate of the reaction will be influenced by the presence of these functional groups. So the nature of the reactants is one of the important factor that affects the rate of the reaction. The second factor that affects the rate of the reaction is concentration of the reactant. Concentration of the reactant. Okay, so how to express the dependence of the rate of the reaction on the concentration of the reactant? It is generally expressed in terms of a law called as law of mass action. This you have studied in your elementary classes. What does it say is, if I have a reaction A plus B giving C plus D, okay, a stoichiometric equation, then according to law of mass action, rate of the reaction dx by dt is directly proportional to concentration of A to the power of its stoichiometric coefficient into concentration of B to the power of its stoichiometric coefficient. So if you look at this equation, it is clear that rate of the reaction is directly proportional to concentration of the reactants. What does it mean? If I increase the concentration of either reactant A or reactant B, the rate of the reaction also increases. If I decrease the concentration, okay, then the rate of the reaction also decreases. This is one way of interpreting this equation. The other way of interpretation of this equation is, remember, here I have said concentration of A and concentration of B, but at what time this concentration is measured? Because you know, during a reaction, when a reaction takes place, the concentration of the reactants does not remain constant. It continuously changes with respect to time. To be more precise, concentration of reactant decreases with respect to time. So when I am saying concentration of A and concentration of B here, at what time I have to measure the concentration? One thing. Second thing, as the concentration decreases with respect to time, what happens to the rate? The rate of the reaction also decreases with respect to time. So what we do is, whenever we are saying rate of a reaction, we have to say rate of a reaction at a particular time. So rate of a reaction at a particular time t is directly proportional to concentration of the reactant at particular time t to the power a into concentration of b at time t to the power b. At t is equal to 0, when the reaction has not yet started and the concentration of reactants will be maximum, the rate of the reaction will also be maximum. With the time, as the concentration of the reactant decreases, the rate of the reaction also decreases. Now, this is the mathematical way of understanding the situation. Now, why should rate of the reaction increase with the concentration of the reactants? The reason is very simple. For example, if I have a reaction vessel, okay, let us take two cases. Okay, in the first case, I have lesser number of molecules of A and B. Okay, here I have 3 molecules of A and 3 molecules of B, whereas in the second case, okay, same is reaction vessel, but you have greater number of molecules of A and B. So I have 6 molecules of A and 6 molecules of B here. In the second case, only 3 molecules of A and B in the first case. So concentration of the reactant is less here, whereas the concentration of the reactant is greater here. So if the rate of this reaction is rate 1 and rate of this reaction is rate 2, remember, the nature of the reactants are same. The only difference is the concentration of the reactants. Okay, so though the nature of the reactants are same and the nature of the chemical reaction is also same, these two reactions will not proceed with same rate because there is a difference in the concentration of the reactants. Here, rate of the first reaction is actually lesser than the rate of the second reaction. Why? Because the concentration of the reactants A and B is high here. So why should the rate of this particular reaction should be greater than this rate of this reaction? Remember, for any reaction to take place, for reaction to take place, collision between reactant molecules is a must. Okay, ಒಂದು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ the molecules of the reactant should collide with each other. So can you tell me in which case the collision frequency is more? It is obvious that the collision frequency is much higher here because the concentration or the number of molecules of reactants are very high. So since the collision frequency is high, the rate of the reaction will also be very high in the first particular case. So the rate of the reaction depends on the concentration of the reactant. It is in fact directly proportional to the concentration of the reactant. Okay, we will again go into this equation in detail later. Now, does rate depend on the concentration of product? does rate depend on concentration of product? Does rate depends on the concentration of product? The answer is yes and no. Okay, if the reaction is proceeding only in one direction, that is forward reaction, then the rate does not depend on the concentration of the product. Why? Because these two molecules, even though they are continuously colliding with each other after they are formed, they are not able to undergo any chemical reaction. So they will simply physically collide with each other but not reacting with each other chemically. So rate of the reaction only depends on the number of collision between A and B molecules, because when they collide there is a possibility that they may react and give the product. So rate of the reaction does not depend on the product if the reaction is proceeding only in forward direction. But if the reaction is a reversible reaction, okay, what do you mean by reversible reaction? Okay, it is a reaction in which even the products have um, the chances of forming back the reactants on collision. In such case, the rate of the reaction not only depends on the concentration of the reactant, it also depends on the concentration of the product. We will discuss about the kinetics of reversible reactions in detail later. Okay, so this is the second factor that affects, that is concentration of the reactant. The third factor that affects the rate of the reaction is temperature. This is another important factor that affects the rate of the reaction. Okay, it is generally observed that rate of the reaction, okay, it is actually rate constant of a reaction. What is rate constant of a reaction? I will tell you later. So rate of the reaction or rate constant of the reaction approximately doubles when the temperature is increased by 10 degree Celsius. This is a thumb rule. Okay, so it is an experimentally observed fact that as we increase the temperature by 10 degrees Celsius, the rate of almost all the reaction approximately gets doubled, or rate constant gets doubled. So mathematically you can write it as rate constant K at a temperature of T plus 10 degrees Celsius, that is higher degree, divided by Kt, that is the rate constant of the reaction at temperature T, is approximately equal to 2. So we clearly observe that as you increase the temperature of the reaction, the rate of the reaction increases, and the relation between rate constant and the temperature is given by a, or governed by a very well-known equation called as Arrhenius equation, that is K is equal to A into e to the power minus Ea by RT. Okay, this equation is very important in chemical kinetics, called as Arrhenius equation. We will discuss about this equation later. We are yet to cover what is rate constant and what is activation energy. To all those things we will discuss in detail later. So remember, as we increase the temperature, rate of the reaction increases. Why? Again, we can explain this in terms of the collision frequency. As we increase the temperature, what happens to the kinetic energy of the molecules? The kinetic energy of the molecule increases. The molecules move with higher speed. And when the molecules move with higher kinetic energy or higher velocity, what are the chances of collision? The chances of collision will be more. So collision frequency increases with the temperature, and as collision frequency increases, the rate of the reaction also increases. So the rate is directly dependent on the temperature at which the reaction is carried out. So temperature is an important factor like concentration, that affects the rate of the reaction. You have other factors also which we will not discuss in detail here now. You have other factors as the presence of a catalyst. What do you mean by catalyst? Catalyst is a compound or a species that itself does not undergo any chemical reaction. It does not participate in the reaction. Okay, does not undergo chemical change. It may undergo physical change, but it alters the rate of the reaction. It may increase or decrease the rate of the reaction. Okay, a positive catalyst increases the rate of the reaction, whereas a negative catalyst decreases the rate of the reaction. So what is the mechanism through which the catalyst actually affects the rate of the reaction is a different topic. We will not discuss it now. So remember, the presence of a catalyst is also a factor that affects the rate of a reaction. A reaction which is very slow may be made to proceed with greater speed or greater velocity by using a pinch of catalyst. Or if the reaction is very fast, uncontrollably fast, you can reduce the rate of such reactions either by lowering the concentration of the reactant or by decreasing the temperature at which the reaction is carried out, or you may use a negative catalyst which decreases the rate of the reaction. There is one more important factor, that is light. Okay, light may also affect the rate of the reaction. Why? Because light is also a form of energy, just like heat. Okay, heat is nothing but a measure of temperature is nothing but a measure of heat. So if when you are increasing the temperature, it means you are increasing the heat energy. Light is also a form of energy, and if the molecules involved in the reaction are sensitive to this light, that is, they are capable of absorbing this light. Okay, upon absorption of light, okay, the energy of the molecule increases, and as the energy of the molecule increases, they proceed with greater speed or greater velocity, which results in increase in collision frequency, which is nothing but increase in the rate of the chemical reaction. So not all the reactions are affected by the light. Only those reactions will be affected where the molecules are capable of absorbing light. Such reactions are called as photochemical reactions. You can have other factors also, okay, but these are some of the important factors that affect the rate of the reaction. Next, we will discuss about some of the important terms, okay, or quantities that are very important in chemical kinetics. These quantities we will be discussing and listening about them more often in our coming classes also. So first let us define what is rate constant of a reaction. It is also called as specific reaction rate, or it is also called as velocity constant. Okay, specific reaction rate or velocity constant. Let us go back to the law of mass action. Okay, let us consider the reaction A moles of A plus B moles of B giving C moles of C plus D moles of D. According to law of mass action, rate of this reaction dx by dt, where x may be one of the reactants or one of the product, is directly proportional to concentration of A to the power A into concentration of B to the power B. If we remove this proportionality, we get dx by dt is equal to a constant k into A to the power A into B to the power B. This constant k is nothing but called as rate constant. Okay, this is nothing but called as rate constant. Now let us define rate constant. Now in order to define rate constant, what I will do in this equation is I will set concentration of A is unity and concentration of B is also unity, that is 1 mole per dm cube per second and 1 mole per dm cube per second. What happens? Let us see. So if concentration of A and concentration of B is unity, 1 mole per dm cube, okay, not per second, 1 mole per dm cube, then in such case the rate of the reaction is dx by dt is equal to k. So what is rate constant? Rate constant of a reaction is nothing but equal to rate of the reaction when the concentration of all the reactants are equal to unity. So rate constant is nothing but the rate of the reaction when concentration of all the reactants are unity. This is the definition of rate constant of a reaction. Okay, now what is the unit of rate constant? This is very interesting. Why? Because let us take two examples. Let me take the example of A plus B giving C plus D, a simple reaction. Then how do you write rate? Dx by dt is directly proportional to concentration of A to the power 1 because stoichiometry is 1 into concentration of B to the power 1 because the stoichiometric coefficient is 1. So if I remove the proportionality sign, dx by dt is equal to K. What is K? Rate constant of the reaction into A into B. And this equation is nothing but called as rate equation, or also called as rate law. Please remember all these terminologies because we will be frequently using this terminology, rate equation or rate law. So let us rearrange this equation. Therefore K is equal to dx by dt, that is rate of the reaction, divided by concentration of A into concentration of B. So what is the unit of K? Unit of K should be unit of rate, that is mole per dm cube per second. Okay, if you are expressing rate like this, divided by concentration of A, unit is mole per dm cube, into, this is also a concentration term, so the unit is again mole per dm cube. Okay, mole per dm cube get cancels. So the unit is, if I take this to numerator, per mole, this becomes dm cube per second. This is the unit of rate constant for this particular reaction. Now let us take another reaction. Okay, let me take another reaction. For example, 2A plus B giving C plus D. How will you write the rate equation? What do you mean by rate equation or rate law? It is nothing but rate is equal to rate constant into concentration of the reactant raised to the suitable power. Here A square into B to the power 1. So this is nothing but the rate equation or rate law for this particular reaction. So if you compare the rate equation or rate law for these two particular reactions, they are somewhat different in terms of how the concentration of A appears in these two equations. Now let us try to find out what is the unit of rate constant. Is it the same that we obtained here or different? So let me rearrange this equation. A is equal to rate dx by dt divided by concentration of A square into concentration of B. So what is the unit of K? The unit of K is now mole per dm cube per second, that is unit of rate, divided by concentration square. So the unit is mole per dm cube whole square into concentration term, mole per dm cube. Okay, so mole per dm cube gets cancelled. If everything is taken to the numerator, this is mole square, but when it is shifted to numerator, it becomes mole to the power minus 2. dm minus 3 square becomes dm to the power minus 6, which when shifted to numerator becomes dm6, and you have per second. So it is clearly observed that the unit of rate constant is not same. It depends, or it varies or changes from one reaction to another reaction. The unit of rate constant actually depends on how many molecules of the reactants are involved in the rate equations. So remember, unit of rate is always the same irrespective of the reaction. It is mole per dm cube per second, but the unit of rate constant is different. Okay, let us point out some features of rate constant. Okay, features of rate constant. First, you remember, it is a rate constant. Why it is a constant? Because rate constant is a constant with respect to concentration of reactants. So rate constant does not change as you change the concentration of the reactants. That is why it is called as a constant, because it is same for the reaction carried out at a different concentration. If I carry out the same reaction at a different concentration, still the rate constant will be same. However, this is true for a simple reaction. If the reaction is a bit complicated, the rate constant may depend on the concentration of the reactants. Second factor is, though rate constant does not change with respect to the concentration of the reactant, but it definitely changes with other factors. If you change the temperature, rate constant changes. If I change the dielectric constant of the solvent, then rate of the reaction changes depending on the particular reaction, not for all the reaction, for particular reaction. If I change the ionic strength of the solution or the medium, then it may affect the rate constant of the reaction depending on the nature of the reaction. We will discuss about all this in detail in the coming classes. Already I have discussed how does rate constant vary with temperature. It is nothing but Arrhenius equation. The third feature of rate constant is the unit of K. Okay, is not the same. It varies as the concentration terms differ. The unit of rate constant also differ. So unit of K depends on order of the reaction. What is order of the reaction? I will define later. Now remember, unit of K depends on the order of the reaction. As the order of the reaction changes, as the concentration terms change, the unit of rate constant also changes. So these are some of the important features of rate constant. Thank you.